So guys, I've done a few videos over the last day or so about the announcement of the Bitmain Antminer Z9 Mini, the equihash ASIC miner. I thought I would touch upon a few things that we discussed in the comment area and in the live stream. If you look at the comment area of the video and you look at the majority of the comments from my live stream, I mean, it's safe to say that I would say that maybe 95% of you guys believe, they're on the side of GPU mining and you're strongly against ASIC miners. But I'm seeing a lot of kind of, on Twitter especially, you're seeing a lot of kind of idiotic responses to this issue. People saying that ASIC miners are evil and all this kind of stuff, which isn't true. Now, I think it's important to take a step back and look at the facts in these kind of situations. I said this in the live stream, when someone asked me if I'm for or against ASIC miners. I don't know if my opinion on ASIC miners, I think it's hard for me to talk about it without being a little bit biased, because I consider myself a GPU miner. I mean, I've got GPUs and I use them to mine, so I'm a GPU miner. I don't have any ASIC miners. I don't have any plans to buy any, but I wouldn't rule out buying any in the future either. But the reason one of the reasons I'm against this product being released is because it directly affects me and it directly affects the coins that I've been mining and investing in. So obviously, my natural reaction is to not like this announcement, and I think that's why a lot of people have reacted negatively to this. But if you look on the live stream, the commentator from the live stream yesterday, Aaron, I really respect Aaron's opinion, and he's an ASIC miner. He's got a couple of L3, so he's been mining Litecoin, and he made some really good points. First, he was talking about efficiency, and I think it's very important to talk about this, because if you look in mainstream media and your newspapers and your TVs, TV news shows and all this kind of thing, they always talk about when they talk about cryptocurrency being bad, they always talk about the environment, and I mean, it's a fair point, because if you look at the Antminer Z9 Mini, it gives you 10,000 sols, which you'd probably need about 14 1080 Ti's to get the same hash rate. And 1080 Ti's, they need about 250 watts. In fact, if you overclock them, you can use a little bit more. This, in contrast, the Antminer Z9 Mini only needs 300 watts. So the Antminer Z9 Mini is effectively 14 1080 Ti's, so you could say that it's effectively 4 times more efficient. It's a fair point, and you can't argue with the fact that it's more efficient. Now, as someone who's a GPU miner, if I hadn't any cards right now, if I had sold them all and I had to say, okay, which one do I buy? One of the pros, if I had to do a little table, one of the pros of buying an ASIC mining machine would be reduced electricity costs. I would greatly reduce my electricity costs every month by having this ASIC mining machine, rather than having all these different GPUs up the stairs connected to motherboards and all these other things, RAM and all these other parts you have to buy. Just have one little box, it would do the same of pretty much all my cards. So from an efficiency point of view, I think you'd have to have your head in the clouds not to realise that ASIC mining machines are more efficient. Aaron was also talking about security, and he was talking about the fact that the Bitcoin network, Litecoin networks and all that are arguably more secure because of ASIC mining machines. And the other issue we talked about was centralization. If you look at the tweets coming from Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin Private and all these other equihash coins, the key word they are all using is centralization. They all say that they want a decentralized coin, they want a decentralized cryptocurrency. So what does that mean? It means that they want to spread the wealth. You want to spread the coins around. You don't want a small selection of people owning all the coins. It goes against what they're trying to do. But as Aaron pointed out, and I know I keep using Aaron's example, but Aaron's comments, but he's one of the few people who was actually fighting the corner of ASIC miners. As Aaron pointed out, if everyone had ASIC mining machines, then the issue of centralization is mute, because everyone, if everyone owned an Antminer, everyone who wanted to mine owned an ASIC mining machine, perhaps from another brand, then you don't have to worry about centralization, because everyone would have an ASIC mining machine. Now, obviously, in practice, that isn't what actually happens, because For one, ASIC mining machines are very expensive. You'd be spending a few $1,000s. You know, most of them retail for a few $1,000s. If you look at GPUs, well, you can pick up a cheap GPU for a couple of $100s. Granted, GPUs are very overpriced at the moment. But yeah, it's true. I mean, if you got a basic gaming PC, you can put on your GPU and make a couple of dollars today from cryptocurrency. If you look on the Discord groups for cryptocurrencies, and in the cryptocurrency communities that hang out on Discord, they're primarily the ones that I mine in or have chose to buy, but primarily the ones that I've chose to mine in. And the vast majority of people there are GPU miners. Now you can't dispute the fact that there's the GPU mining farms in China and Russia, big warehouses full of graphics cards that are mining. So, I mean, that is centralization, and it's the same problem that you've got with people that have got lots of Antminers and ASIC mining machines. But I do think it's true that, I mean, you could argue that Bitmain's dominating the ASIC mining machine, ASIC mining market. Excuse me. But you could also argue that you've only really got AMD and Nvidia in the GPU world. But GPUs are a much lower price point. Nvidia and AMD ship out, I don't know what the total unit is, probably hundreds of millions of GPUs over the years. So it spreads, you know, the processing power, or the hash rate, the network hash rate, it spreads it around the world. Everyone's going to get coins. It's all distributed, and that's what a lot of these coins want. You know, as I said, if you look at the tweets coming out from all these equihash coins, the key word they're all using is decentralization. They don't want a small selection of people to gather all the coins, and it does make sense, you know, because if you look at you know, you go into a Discord group and you see about all the people are chatting, all the people that are supporting the coin. Primarily these people are GPU miners, and it's spreading it around a large group of people. So it does make sense, but I think we do have to leave the silliness out of this. ASIC mining machines aren't evil. Yes, Bitmain might give poor support. They might use them before they send out, you know, to people. And you know, there's problems with people they've paid thousands of dollars for an ASIC mining machine that arrives and it's clearly been used before. It's got dust on it and all these other things. So yeah, there are issues like that, but I think it's wrong to say that ASIC mining machines are evil. And I think we just have to look at the facts as far as efficiency goes, as far as security goes, and as far as centralization goes. But ASIC mining machines aren't going to go anywhere. So we have to either accept that, or we have to, well, we just cry out. You have to accept it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these coins, to see what equihash coins do, whether they all group together and, you know, try and figure out a new algorithm, something like X16R, or perhaps just adopts X16R. Maybe they will go in one direction and they'll group together, or perhaps they will go in different directions. I mean, if you look at what Bitmain have done in the past, they've targeted algorithms that were associated with multiple coins or one coin that was worth a lot of money. And in this case with equihash, there's, you know, like a dozen or so coins, whatever it is, who use the equihash algorithm. But if those 10 or whatever coins that are out there, if they all use different algorithms, they would have to release multiple products. So it kind of hurts Bitmain in that way. But we're going to see what happens. Still a lot of debate going on about this. But as I said, I'm a GPU miner. I haven't bought an ASIC mining machine. I've got no plans to right now. I'm not going to rule out and say that I won't in the future, because at the end of the day, I am a cryptocurrency miner. You need to keep your eyes open. You need to keep the silliness out of it. I think that's the best way to look at it. At the end of the day, you know, we're all just trying to make money, so I don't think the people that are buying ASIC mining machines are evil. I think that's a silly way to look at it. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Give me your thoughts on decentralization, centralization. There are pros to ASIC mining machines, even if you don't agree with, you know, what actually happens with, you know, as far as centralization and all that. There are benefits to them as far as efficiency goes and all that. So we need to look at the facts, and that means leaving emotion out of it and leaving stuff like ASIC miners are evil, they're all evil. It's bull crap. It's a lot of bull crap. So let me know what you think about this, guys. Leave a comment below, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Take care, guys.